what actually happens next.
On the night of June 3rd, the square was filled with people milling around. We started getting rumors the army was starting to shoot its way into the center of downtown Beijing.
All of a sudden, we hear this noise. Boom, 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 boom.
Under orders from the government to take back the square, soldiers from the People's Liberation Army advance into the city center from 3 directions.
The violence began outside Tiananmen Square. As the army units started to come into Beijing, they were met with resistance. And at one point, one of the armored personnel carriers was set on fire, and some of the Chinese soldiers inside it were burned to death.
They were using battlefield weapons. These were armor-piercing bullets. And the crowd was, of course, densely packed, so there were lots and lots of casualties.
Jan Wang, along with some other journalists, retreats to a room at the Beijing hotel, which overlooks the square.
The rest of the night, we just watched this carnage unfold.
This is about the worst you can do to your own citizens, and they're doing it. That armored personnel group, as it worked its way down the main street to where Tiananmen Square, was firing at demonstrators.
It was a bloodbath. I mean, you have one side with military-grade weapons, and then you have people in their summer dresses with their children. It's a massacre.
The next day, AP still photographer Jeff Widener convinces a man he just met named Kirk to let him camp out in his room at the Beijing hotel. Jeff shoots photos until he runs out of film, but Kirk locates one roll and gives it to Jeff.
So I had that one roll of film, and I had to make it last.
By the morning of June 5th, the siege of Tiananmen Square is nearly over, and most of the protesters have fled. But there is one act of defiance yet to come, one that will live on forever.
So I get wakened up by the sound of tanks coming down the street. As I'm looking through the camera, I notice it's really far away, but it's a nice composition. There's this, nice compression. And some guy walks out.
From a different floor of the hotel, Jan Wang is watching the same row of tanks.
I saw this lone man stepping in front of them. I couldn't believe it, and I immediately started crying because I just knew I was going to witness him getting smashed like hamburger. I see the tank try to go around him. I see him jump to the one side to stop it. I see the tank turn, twist, and try to go around, and I see him stop it too. I'm going, this is unbelievable.
He's standing there, and I said, okay, I know what they're going to do. They're just going to shoot him. I'm just waiting for the instant.
Jeff snaps the shutter on his Nikon.
Finally, he crawls up on the top.
And then he tries to get up to the turret so he can talk to them.
As the tank begins to move, the man jumps in front once again and reestablishes the standoff. Eventually, a few bystanders rush over and push the man out of the way.
My thought is, how do I tell the world what I just seen? Not knowing that in the rest of the hotel there's photographers, there's TV cameras.
Within hours,